Salome, reading an excerpt from An Interview with Billy, Part 2. Isn't a person, as an individual, powerless nowadays? Looking at all the wars and the misery on earth, one might ask just what tangible action the individual can take. The individual can do quite a bit, mainly for himself or herself, since the person is, in each and every case, closer to his or her own self than to anyone else. Therefore, the person must primarily be concerned with his or her formation and evolution, and with staying alive, of course. This, however, must take place in a way that concurs with the creational natural laws, and it is imperative that the individual bears fully his or her own responsibility for each and every thought, endeavor, emotion, perception, contemplation, action, etc. Every individual must work on himself or herself and become a real human being, for it all begins with the individual, and all humanity consists of individuals. When an individual becomes a decent, rational, and responsible person, the result rubs off on the next person, who may then perhaps also become more decent, rational, and responsible, in turn conveying these attributes to the following person, and so forth. The great human mass cannot be changed, nor will the great human mass change for the better, but it is the individual who will change. And as a group, they will carry their new ways, their knowledge, love, harmony, peace, and sense of responsibility into the world, to the next person, and the one beyond that. Eventually, the whole thing begins to snowball. Therefore, the question is not whether the individual can do anything, or whether he or she is powerless. Instead, we must ask, why aren't individuals doing something? It is really up to the individual to remedy and change the world's ills for the better. First and foremost, such actions are based on the premise that individuals re-evaluate and work on themselves so as to turn into genuine human beings. And this can come about only when they discover the truth. Once the truth is discovered, and the individual actually has become a genuine human being, he or she can do much outwardly, by gathering up all available courage and by standing up for the truth, a better life, a better world, and better contemplations and endeavors for all humanity. This includes such things as campaigning against overpopulation, against discrimination of women and the abuse of children, against torture and capital punishment, and the hatred against foreigners and other races. It also includes campaigning for the protection of animals, nature, our environment, and planet Earth. Ultimately, of course, this also includes lending a helping hand to one's fellow man, whenever this is possible and appropriate. Nothing can be expected from the human mass, for it is obstinately living in its same old, indifferent and egotistical rut. That's why it is up to the individual to change his or her own ways and to become accessible to the truth. In so doing, he or she draws his or her neighbor and that neighbor's neighbor toward the truth as well. This is the only method in existence whereby an individual can change all of humanity toward a better way of life and to maintain life and the world.